It's gonna be a new video though. Let's see what happens here.
We were live again. Now we're off again.
All right. I think we're back on. All right, we're back on. Doing something. We'll see if anybody catches it. Whew. Man. All right. Well, we said all the other things.
We're rebels. We're rebels.
Yeah.
Breaking the rules.
That'll help us get more that'll help us get some more pub. Any kind of press is good press, right? Even bad press is good press. We're back. I don't know if anybody's going to find us, but we're back.
I apologize. I was stealing YouTube videos and playing them.
Dang, violator.
I shouldn't do that. I think I'm the violator.
That's okay.
This is my best show. No.
That's so weird that like when I use your song though, and it's not even from YouTube, you know, it's recorded from the MP3 that I paid for. And then I plug it into my video. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, remember I couldn't wait till you give me a CD, so I had to like download the whole album right away.
Whoa!
And I got the old school CD later. All right, I don't have too much. What else you got?
You got to send me the audio versions of our concerts that we did because I had them on Jesse's computer, and now I want to put them on my computer. So you got to send them back to me somehow.
Oh, okay.
As well as Olivia's musical, if you still have that. Not that anybody who's watching cares about those things, but
okay, I'll see if
you don't have it. That's fine. Whatever. What?
See if I can find that stuff. Hey, Bruce, do you know anything before while I wind up this last part? Do you know anything about the 7 undrafted rookies that the Packers signed? And are you excited about any of those guys?
You know, I haven't looked a whole lot at the 7.
You know the up-off guy?
There's one guy. Is he a corner?
He's a safety.
Yeah.
That's what's his name?
Christian Uphoff.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy that I'm kind of interested in. That I think might actually make some noise. We'll see what happens. But I kind of like that pickup. Other than that, I don't know a lot about the other 6. So, do you guys?
No, just him. He was supposed to be a 5th round pick, didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
Packers picked him up. We got a new guy, TBM Nate 23 found us again. He might be the only person who switched over. Or he was never on the other one and he just popped on this one.
I know. I'm saying hey to him right here. How's it going, Nate? All right. I do have one more thing to share. It shouldn't create a copyright violation or, you know, ever since the Schefter news, they're cracking down on everything, I guess. Got to be legit. Got to be legit.
Yeah, can't have sources. I mean, you know.
Dang. I do have so anyway, I talked about this before. And remember, we had our special Tremont celebration when he retired at age 38. We had all our Tremont breaks. We showed all of his interceptions. We focused to ourselves and showed ourselves that Tremont Williams was awesome. Bruce, did you know how awesome Tremont Williams was when he was a Packer? Do you remember that? Or did
I do. Yeah.
You do remember it the whole time? What do you think of Tremont? Give me your Tremont Williams take. What do you think of him as a Packer?
I think, honestly, I'd be surprised if he wasn't put in the Packer Hall of Fame because I think he has enough stats to be. Excuse me. I think he has enough stats to be put in the Hall of Fame. But the one thing that I remember is the Atlanta playoff game and the pick 6. That's a big one that I remember. That pretty much put that game out of reach in the playoffs when we had a Super Bowl run. So, but he had a lot of great plays. I mean, he was sticky. He was a ball hawk. I think he had didn't he have 6 or 8 interceptions a couple of years in a row? I want to say, is that accurate? I think so.
I'll show you, Bruce. I'll show you. If you hadn't, so maybe you missed that show because Tremont Williams, we talked about, how good he was. We showed all these plays, showed all these interceptions that he made. He made 11 diving interceptions. like plays where a bunch of guys maybe wouldn't even try to get the interception. Like he dove for balls and came up with picks. And on top of that, he had, what was it like? It was 9 or 10 interceptions inside the red zone, or and six of those were inside the end zone. Two stop drives. So that was pretty remarkable. Well, yes, he was really good. And I've discovered after looking at statistically what he did that he actually is not just a Packer Hall of Famer. He should be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And I'm going to show you a couple things right now. We'll take a look at it. Take a look at it. And we won't even violate any copyright. How's that? Oh, maybe a little copyright, but nothing that'll get us shut down. All right. Let's take a look here at Tramon Williams and his awesome stats and his awesomeness. Now, if you look at his Green Bay seasons, right? So the first year he only got to start one game, but then he got 5 picks in his first season. Only started 9 games, but played 16. 4, 6, 4, 2, 3, 3 for his Packer stint in terms of picks. Passes defended, though, is where it's pretty nuts too. 14, 15, 20, 22, 16, 11, 13. Then he moves on from the Packers. And tackles, everyone thought he never tackled anybody. 57, 56, 57, 64, 61, 84, 70. And then his first year in Cleveland, he had 69 tackles too. So a lot of key things there in terms of cornerback play, in terms of metrics and statistics. On top of that, he played 153 games in his career, ended up with 34 regular season picks, 4 postseason interceptions, including 3 in the 2010 postseason where the Packers won the Super Bowl and were key plays and key interceptions and pass breakups. But if you look at his 10 years in Green Bay, right, you look at a couple of key things. Look, 122 games started, 125 passes defended in 122 starts. That's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. How many picks did he have with the Packers, right? If you look at interceptions with the Packers, 30 interceptions in his 10 years in Green Bay. Pretty good. All right. The other thing in that time, he had 559 tackles in 10 years. So my math ain't great, but it's 10 years. So it's pretty easy. So 56 tackles per game during that same stint. So 56 tackles per game, 100, more than 1 pass defended per game, which is pretty nuts, and 30 interceptions during that time. So that's a little more than 3 a season. All right. But nobody says Tramon Williams is a Hall of Famer. Except for this, say Packer Hall of Famer, but no, a Hall of Famer. Let's look at surefire Hall of Fame, first ballot, Chucky Woodson, right? And everybody would say that his Green Bay stint was like his most impactful, which it was. But just take a look at what Charles Woodson did in his 7 years in Green Bay. 100 games started. This is game starts. 100 games started, 99 passes defended. He had 183 passes defended and 251 starts, by the way, for his whole career. That's a much lower rate than Mr. Tramon Williams. He did have more touchdowns, of course. He had more picks. He had 38 picks in the 100 games, so that rate's up higher than Tramon's. That's like 4.5 per season. And as far as tackles, he had 467 tackles in 7 years with the Packers. So, yeah, up there around 60 or so. So pretty good, but pretty comparable, right? And he is first ballot, surefire, number 1 Hall of Famer right away. And Tramon Williams can't even get considered by most people in their minds. So I'm comparing him to one of the best. And that's how he compares his time in Green Bay versus Chucky's time in Green Bay, which by far was his most productive in his career. I understand Woodson played a few more seasons, had more starts, had more games, accumulated more, definitely had more interceptions. You're not going to argue me there. I won't argue with you on that. But in terms of a lot of the other things cornerbacks do and how they impact games, Tremont is really good, and he should probably be a Hall of Famer in 10 years. And somebody needs to get on that. Like, this shouldn't be a Leroy Butler situation where he's decades in to retirement and finally then getting on the list. Like, the Packers should run with this and help get the word out, because number one, he deserves it. Number two, he was a great Packer, played the majority of his years in Green Bay, and represented the organization with class all the time. He's just a class dude. Everything about him is awesome. So I want to see Tremont Williams in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. And there's the case. What do you think about that, Bruce? Good enough case for you or not?
Actually, yeah. I mean, it's when I looked at the numbers, I didn't realize how good the numbers were, to be honest with you. I will say that to argue you a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
The Charles Woodson numbers are, I mean, come on, they're off the charts as far as Green Bay and then the Raiders. I mean, 1,220 tackles, 65 picks. I mean, that's why he's a surefire Hall of Famer right away, first ballot. With Tremont, he stayed with Green Bay and he had a great year with Green Bay, or years with Green Bay, and that's why I say he's a Packer Hall of Famer for sure. But then you have the other years, and he was okay with Cleveland, and then he did okay with us the year that he came back and played a full year. But I think that's where people are going to look at it and they're going to be like, well, come on. I mean, maybe he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a first ballot, and it might take a while, like you said, if he does get in. But I don't know. We'll see if he gets in or not. But he's definitely a Packer Hall of Famer in my book. There's no question about that. Whether the NFL actually thinks he's a Hall of Famer, I don't know. It's a good question. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, the NFL will never have him be a Hall of Famer, which is bullcrap, but that's the way it's going to be. If Leroy Butler can't be a Hall of Famer, Tremont ain't never going to be no Hall of Famer. I mean, they let John Lynch in before Leroy Butler. And if you look at their stats, compare Leroy Butler to John Lynch, it's like night and day. Well, it's not night and day, but I mean, Butler is higher in every category. Sacks, picks, everything. I mean, pass defense, everything. It's ridiculous. It was bad enough when they had Atwater go in before Leroy.
Wow. All right, I want you to look at this then. Because some guys will say, okay, how long a career, how much of an impact? What is the Hall of Fame about? Is it about totality of career? Because Woodson had a huge impact, but he also played a crap load of years. A lot of people would say, was this player a dominant, awesome player for a good stretch of years? What is that? 6, 7, 8 years is good enough? I don't know. So take a look at Tremont Williams, 2008 to 2014. 2008 to 2014. 98 games, 27 picks, 111 passes defended in 98 games, 5 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, 4.5 sacks, 376 tackles, solo 73 assisted. So he averaged, this is averages for those seasons, 18 through 14. Almost 4 interceptions per year. 16 passes defended per year. More than a forced fumble per year, almost a single fumble recovery per year. In addition to that, 65 tackles, 64 tackles per season during that time span. There are not many cornerbacks that have a run like that. So there were some back ends, these last handful of years here, 5-6 years, there wasn't all the production. So that added games and not to the statistics. But you look at a dominant player for 2, 4, 6, 7 seasons. That's what he was. He was a dominant corner for 7 seasons and then had a heck of a year in Arizona in 17 as well. So that's the case that I make.
There's another guy who had 7, 8 years where he was probably the best player at his position, not named Jerry Rice, and he's not in the Hall of Fame either, but he should be. So if he's not in, Tremont's not going to get in.
Who's that?
Really? Really?
You're just saying Sterling Sharpe?
Yeah, Sterling
Oh,
Sharpe. What are you talking
Sterling
about?
should be in.
That's a really good point, Ben, because I've looked at the stats between Rice and Jerry Rice and Sterling Sharpe, and he literally I think it is the first 7 seasons. I think that's what it is. They're just completely neck and neck in almost every category. So you're right. But of course he was cut short because of his neck injury. But
Should he be in the Hall of Fame though, Bruce? Sterling Sharpe.
yeah, he should be based off of, because obviously it wasn't his fault that, he got his career got cut short, because obviously, he was good and he was great in the years that he played. There's no doubt about it. He was dominant. Like you said with Tremont Williams, he was dominant in those years. There's no question about it.
If Gale Sayers is in the Hall of Fame and Terrell Davis
Yeah.
is in the Hall of
Terrell
Fame.
Davis doesn't deserve to be in the Hall.
Well, if he does, and he is, Sterling Sharpe deserves
I know. I agree.
The difference is Terrell Davis was MVP of the league and MVP of a Super Bowl, and Sterling Sharpe was never those things. But, I mean, Julian Edelman was MVP of the Super Bowl. Does that mean that he should be in the Hall of Fame? No. But Sterling Sharpe was possibly the best player at his position, and for sure the best player at his position not named Jerry Rice during the 7 years that he played. Nobody was more dominant than he was because he didn't have the West Coast system when he was there for the majority of the time that he was dominant. And he had nobody else that was worth anything. And Don Mikowski would just go back and throw it straight to him every time. And Favre would just go back and throw it straight to him every time. Even if he was triple covered, he just still threw it to him. Why? Because Sterling caught everything. Mm-hmm. So if Sterling can't be in the Hall of Fame and Leroy can't be in the Hall of Fame, Tremont is going to have a really hard time getting into the Hall of Fame. No one's going to stand up for him. And it's a shame because he's a great guy. And I'll say this much. When it comes to Hall of Fame awesome dudes, Tremont Williams is definitely in the Hall of Fame of awesome dudes. No doubt about that.
That's for sure. All right. Since you brought up his name, let's take a quick peek. This is the man, Sterling Sharpe here. God, if he could have played more games. He was so good. But there it is. Career. That's all it was. But look at those numbers, man.
Take a look at that once. 595. What?
Yeah, 595 catches. Yeah.
Only 510 targets? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, they don't have all the target data for all this. But yeah, over 8,000 yards, almost 14 a catch, which is a little lower, but he was not, a game breaker guy. And then all the touchdowns, 65 touchdowns.
He played like 17 or 18 years, did he?
Yeah, long time.
And he has like how many touchdowns? 130 maybe? I don't know, something like that. So I mean, he has double, but he played like 10 or 11 more years than Sterling did. So think about that.
The problem is Sterling had those years with the 55 and the 67, the 69 when the team was terrible.
Yeah. Who was his quarterback in 88, Ben? It wasn't Mikowski yet, right? It was like Randy Wright or
somebody like that. I don't know.
Blair Keel
but it was Mikowski in 99 or 90 and 91.
Anthony Dilwig or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, interestingly enough, when Favre came on board, look at his numbers. All of a sudden, jack up.
Favre just chucked it to him all the time.
Yeah, because he knew how good he was. He's like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I guess it's what I don't know. I get longevity is rewarded, and that's cool. I mean, players that play longer careers should be rewarded, but in my, a lot of players, a lot of people that look at it and talk about the Hall of Fame talk about, were you like one of the best people at your position? Were you a dominant player at your position for a stretch like that? 7 years, 8 years, 6 years, whatever some people say. Usually it's more like 7 or 8 years. And I don't know, man, Tremont was. I love him. I think I don't know. Somebody's got to make the case. Somebody's got, and they can put him alongside with Butler and make the case for both of them. Like the Packers should be all over that. They really should. Anyway, Hall of Fame guy for sure. He is one of the best Packers of all time. He was Fantastic dude. And he's still putting out inspirational stuff all the time. I don't know. He keeps such a good attitude. Guy was undrafted, unwanted, cast aside, cut from Houston. Cut from Houston, Bruce. The Packers scooped him up because they had good scouts back in the day at the bottom who said, this guy's good. Dang. Anyway, that's all I got about it.
It's interesting that you said undrafted because I did show some videos that got us in trouble and got us kicked off before, so I'm not going to show any more videos.
Oh, try it again.
No, I was going to show 5 guys, right? I showed 5 guys, and 2 of them were undrafted. 2 of them were 5th round draft picks, and 1 of them was a 2nd round draft pick. And those are our key players on the team, not named Devontae Adams. That would be Robert Tonyan, undrafted. Alan Lazard, undrafted. MVS, 5th round. Aaron Jones, 5th round. And AJ Dillon, 2nd round. Those are guys that fans need to realize, and hopefully LaFleur knows, are the keys to the Packers' success in 2021 and beyond. Whether Aaron Rodgers is there or not. Preferably him being there would be better for the team and probably the receiving guys there. Maybe not necessarily the running backs, but it still helps him a little bit. And to think that we have those key guys and 4 of them had to wait before they could get a shot. Think about that. Lazard had to wait for 1.5 years before he could finally get in the game and prove that he's the man. Tonyan had to wait 2 years before he could get in the game and prove that he's the man. 3 years before he could prove that he's the man. Aaron Jones, every time he got in the game, destroyed everybody, but McCarthy would never play him. He needed LaFleur to come to actually give him the ball a couple times, and then he kills everybody. And MVS finally gets in the games this last year and tears it up. Those guys are the key building blocks to our offense. And other than Dillon, they were the key building blocks to last year's success and running the offense properly. And what I would want is if Aaron Rodgers stays, I want Devontae gone. And he can use those 5 key guys plus Amari Rodgers and then sprinkle in guys here and there. And I think the offense would actually even be scarier with Devontae gone, Rodgers there for the, sign him to an extension, make him happy.
Dang.
That would be something else. That would be something else. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Dang. All right. Well, that's good. Sorry, I didn't realize we were getting so behind. We had some technical issues tonight. We had some other stuff going on. We got in trouble. But
sorry.
That's okay. Bruce, sorry for taking up so much of your night, but thanks for hanging around, man. Do you got anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to say you didn't take up much of my night. I mean, it's a Friday night. I wouldn't be anywhere else but Hafeman Bros.
Bruce is getting the first prize, first shirt. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we're giving away a Nightcrawler shirt.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just saying that. 1,000. We get to 1,000 subscribers. We're giving away 10 shirts. Actually, you know what? We give away a Counter Void shirt once we get to 100 subscribers.
A what?
You might have a Counter Void shirt. Whoa, there it is. Oh, he disappeared.
Nightcrawler. I like Nightcrawler. I teleported.
That's true. We get Bruce a Counter Void shirt.
Yeah. Hey, I'd take a Counter Void shirt.
All right, we'll get you one.
I have a Counter Void CD. I mean, come on.
There you go. And we're going to start giving away Counter Void shirts once we get a little bit up in the subscribe. Anyway, remember, we're trying to get to subscribers so we can.
That's how you get the subscribers. Because I've been watching. Okay,
giveaway stuff.
Quick.
Yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube who I've watched a couple of his videos and stuff.
Is it microphone? He's super boring, but he seems like a nice dude.
It's not him. It's something. It's like something else. It's not sportsy related.
Oh, all right.
But he's been doing this for a year. I swear it's been a year. He's like, yeah, we're giving away a PS5 for just keep out. If we hit this many subscribers, or not if we hit this many, but he's like, just all you gotta do is subscribe and you get put in for getting the PS5. And it's been like 7 months, and he's like, yeah, we're still waiting to give away that PS5. And I'm just like, dude, I don't think you have a PS5. Nobody does. So I think you're just giving people crap to try to get them to subscribe, and you're not going to be giving away no PS5. It's been 7-8 months. No one's gotten a PS5 yet. You're full of crap. So we need to just do that. Be like, oh, we're giving a giveaway.
I got something. I got a PS2 that still works. But if I gave that away, would we get some?
Maybe, because I'll tell you, PS2 is the only place you can play a PS2 game.
Oh, really? All right.
Because the PS3 is not only the original PS3s were backwards compatible.
Dang. All right. Well,
my PS3, I could play PlayStation 1 games on it, but I can't play PlayStation 2 games on it, which doesn't seem to make much sense to me. But I still have my PlayStation 2 as well, and I can play both my PlayStation games and my PlayStation 2 games on it.
My God.
And I can play my PlayStation 4. I can't play anything but PlayStation 4 games on that. I don't have PlayStation 5 because
I don't either.
Whatever.
I'll tell you what, the people that hang on this show, like Bruce, like throughout, that are front to back, that hang out through the whole thing, like they're so dedicated. How the heck do they stick out through all this crap with us? I don't even know. Anyway, Bruce, you're awesome. You guys in the chat are awesome. People in the other chat where we had to, sorry, we left that stream because we were cut off by YouTube, banned for temporarily. But at least, so you got to go back and watch that one to catch the Mother's Day salute and Bruce's very beautiful message to his mom. So Bruce, when you have your mom come back and watch it, you got to make sure she watched the other video first.
I'll do that.
You got to edit that video at the end.
I will. I'll take the.
Also,
I'll take the parts where shut down.
You took one of our videos from earlier and you turned an hour and a half into 2 minutes.
No, that's what they used to be able to let you take one of those videos and then you could edit it down and cut out a piece and then save it as a new video. But now it doesn't let you save it as a new video anymore. It makes you just overwrite. Well, it lets you save as that same video. But you can undo the saves and go back to the original form, which I'm going to do. I was just using it as a little promotional thing to show that, sometimes we know things we're talking about. Think about all the people that talked about draft prospects for the Packers and they didn't draft any of those guys. We talked about 2 in that show and they drafted both those guys. That's all I was trying to get out there. That's why you should subscribe to the show. We talk about the real stuff sometimes. Other times we're a bunch of morons. Anyway, Bruce is awesome. You guys are okay. Ben's got Nightcrawler behind him. It was freaking me out for a while there, but I get it now. All right. Peace out. Have a great weekend. Go Pack Go. Love you, Mom.